Okay, I guess the challenge here for me is to show you how to recover an Oracle database from the loss of a data file in the simplest way. My job here is to make things as simple as possible so you can understand the concepts of media recovery and the way Oracle works, and then you can build upon that knowledge. In reality, however, the job might not be as simple and it can take hours. Oracle provides a fantastic tool called RMAN, or Recovery Manager, that helps taking some complexities out, and you should use RMAN for backup and recovery of database whenever possible. But the video will describe the process to help you understand the mechanism Oracle uses to safeguard against the media failure. I'll show you actually what happens when you lose a data file and what messages you receive. Of course, to recover from a loss of a data file, you'll have to have a backup copy of that data file, and for that reason I'll show you how to perform what is known as user managed cold backup. It is the simplest type of backup that you can do, and then we'll simulate a loss. So we'll delete the original data file, and then I'll try to restore data file from backup, and then I'll show you how to recover it. So let's log on to the database using SQL plus program as sysdba connected to an ideal instance. So we'll say startup. So database is mounted and database is open now. So we'll check the name of the database. Name from v $database. XE is the name of the database. Make sure that we are running in a log archive mode from v $database, and then check the location of your data files. So these are the locations of our data files. So this is a user's DBF, which is in user's table space and currently storing user's data. So what we'll do, we will copy this location in system's memory. Copy. So I'll shut down the database. In fact, shut down the instance and close the database. Okay, we'll go to host operating system, which is Windows, and what I'll do, I'll make a directory, make directory MD, or folder as it is known as, and I want to create this folder in C root of the C drive, and I'll create a folder called backup. I'm creating a folder or a directory in C root of the C drive, which is known as backup. I'll make sure that actually this folder has been created and this is empty at the moment. So we'll go back to this location. I'll say CD and I will paste. Okay, so this is the location where all our data files are. I'll just back up one data file. So I'll say copy users.dbf to C drive and backup. Now in actual practice, your backup should be on a different drive altogether, but this is just a learning process, so you'll never keep your backup on the same drive where your actual data files are. So it should be on a separate drive, separate location, maybe tape backup or whatever, but you have to have your backup on a different location. So we have copied our data file onto this location called backup folder, and we'll just make sure that the data file is there. Yes, it is. Now database is actually using this location. Let me go up. Database is using actually this location to locate and write to the data files. So we'll go back to SQL plus startup. Database is mounted and it should be opened in a minute. So database is open. So what we'll do, we'll create a table. Create a table. I'll say ABC, just one column, name, and the type of data that it can store is varchar2, and I'll say 20 characters, and just to make sure, table space users. Okay, table has been created. Insert into ABC values my uni. Okay, commit. So when you write commit, what happens? Your log writer process writes these statements into online redo log files, and I'll say alter checkpoint, so the database writer actually can write to the data file. I'll say twice or three times. So what has happened now, this data file which is in this location and the data file that we copied in this location are out of sync now. This data file has more data, and this backup file, which is the copy of this data file, has less data. The backup data file does not have our new table called ABC, and it does not have the row in it. I'll shut down again. I'll go to host operating system, and I will go back to the folder where we have our data file, and I'll delete this data file on purpose, but we'll assume that this file has been deleted by mistake. Okay, so that can happen. So let's see what happens to the database when you try to start it. It will eventually try to find this file and will throw an error. Okay, cannot identify /lock data file number 4C database writer trace file. This is the number of the data file, and this is the location that it cannot find. I'll go to host operating system. The database is mounted. I'll go back to backup, and I'll say copy to, and we'll go back to the location where this data file belongs. Okay, so one file has been copied. Exit. I'll say select open underscore mode from v dollar database. Database is mounted. It is not read write, it is not open. So I'll try to open the database. Okay, it now says media recovery. File 4 needs media recovery because this user DBF was not in sync with the database file that we removed. It needs media recovery. So what we can do, we can simply say recover. We can recover database, we can recover data file, or we can recover table space simply. Okay, database is still not open, and at this point media recovery is complete. It means that this data file now has the data that was committed, and this data has been written to this new this backup copy from either online redo log files or from archived redo log files. So in this case it has been written from online redo log files, and you can tell by the messages that you receive. And I'll alter database open, and the database has been altered. I'll say select open underscore mode from v dollar database, and it's read and write, it's open, and we want to make sure that we haven't lost our committed data from ABC. It should have only one row,